talking about the New York Knicks, and they got to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. The New York Knicks are the fifth seed in the East. The Cleveland Cavaliers are the fourth seed. Of course, early in the season, we know what happened. The New York Knicks, they picked up Jalen Brunson from Dallas Mavericks. This was like last year pretty much, of free agency, and Cleveland picked up Donovan Mitchell. So both of these
Hmm.
guys got some amazing stars to come, to their cities. And the Knicks have been looking incredible, and not just early in the season. Like they would look good early, then they started taking this like pretty much a slump until the All Star break. But since the All Star break, they've been looking pretty good, and they've been definitely one of the hottest teams since the All Star break. As far as the Cavaliers, though, I don't know. This is gonna be an amazing series because there's a lot of storylines for this one too. I don't know if you know this, but the New York Knicks had a shot to get Donovan Mitchell. They didn't give him enough money for
As
free
always,
agency, and he
as
decided to
always.
go with Cleveland. So that's a huge storyline. So who you got for this series? Cleveland versus New York.
I mean, it's so crazy because this is honestly just like the last series. It really depends on your boy Randall. Another injury, and we don't know when he's coming back. He should be coming back this round. They shut him down for the rest of the season, knowing they're going to stay in the playoffs. So we don't know what we're getting. But definitely, these teams they know each other well. Um, Cleveland is the higher seed. Cleveland has more stars, bigger names. I mean, Darius Garland and Evan Mobley was doing their thing last year, and then they went and got Donovan Mitchell and took the whole team to a whole nother level.
Hmm.
So they had a great year, and obviously, like you said, Jalen Brunson pretty much did the same exact thing for the Knicks. So both teams pretty much have the same trajectory. Obviously, they played 4 times this year. The Knicks won 3 times. But like I said, the Cavs have the better firepower, and they're the higher seed and technically the favorites in this series, especially without Randall starting. But they know each other well. The Knicks know how to play well against them, and this definitely won't be something that, even though all the favorites and all the names are on the Cavs side, where you could just write the Knicks off, even without Randall. Because obviously, as four times you play in a year, you're not playing with all your stars.
Right.
So I definitely do think this is going to be a well fought, really tough series. Um, Cavs really got one of the best defense in the leagues.
Yes, they
They're
do.
lengthy, they're long. Obviously, we already know what they got. All those big boys running around, including Evan Mobley, who can do really well on the perimeter. Obviously, Jared Allen in the paint, blocking everything. Pretty much, they're gonna try to, especially starting off without Orlando. They're definitely gonna try to start and be aggressive on Brunson and force him to funnel into the paint and pretty much get beat down there by their big man. Um, Granted, they're not all-star defenders, but they definitely do got some good defenders. Garland's not bad, but they even might maybe put a wing on Brunson if Randall's not there because there's no one else. Who else are you gonna guard? So you might as well, throw
True.
your best defender, or even if he's a little longer. I'm not saying Mobley, but they definitely might not just leave it for Garland to actually to be matched up against him. So I definitely do think that they're gonna try to crowd him and just force him to make the role players come out, and definitely see how anyone else can score and who else is gonna come out that Knicks team and pretty much show up. I definitely do think there is a chance. This is a better chance than Paul George that that Randall plays. He
Yeah, I
actually has a
think
good
I
shot
think
of
he's gonna
coming back
be.
after 1 or 2 games or even being available pretty at game one.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be evaluated during the playing game, so he might even be available game one.
Yeah, so I definitely do think he is crucial, and truthfully, that's going to be crucial for the next team. While playing against the Cavs, he pretty much averages 25, 10, and 4. Has good averages in the last couple matchups. Doing 45% overall and I think 34 at 3. So he definitely plays well against them. Having someone like Brunson is good to take the pressure off. So I think this is going to be a series of defensive matchups, and he's a big part of whether the Knicks can actually survive that defensive onslaught if they can make it throughout the series and to the next round. On the other end, obviously, you already got just a bunch of people who's going at it. You're gonna have Mitch, you're gonna have Garland. I don't know how you're gonna stop both of them on every night. Definitely one of them is gonna go off for 30, and if you can, you're gonna stop only one of them, and you're gonna have a still getting 15 or something. So definitely do think that this is gonna be a good series where it's gonna be a lot of perimeter defending, trying to just cut each other off. But before I say who I think win, and I want to see what do you think about what we're going to get defensively. Because, like I said, I definitely think it's going to be a great defensive matchup. And for me specifically, that perimeter defense, not allowing pretty much uh, Garland, Mitchell, and Brunson to go off from either team.
As far as defensively, I do agree with you. I think it is going to be a great defensive matchup. Now, for me, it's going to be more the backcourt, or not the front court, the backcourt more. I don't know about like the matchups with the point guards, but I do think that the Cleveland's got that two-headed monster that we were talking about that in Minnesota. You know how their two-headed monster is not really playing well together. Now you got Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. They're playing so well together in Cleveland, and not only that, they're one of the best rebounding teams, and they're one of the best blocking teams as well. So they block very well. Both of these guys together, they rebound very well. They get offensive rebounds, and that's why I do think that it's going to be quite a challenge for New York to really score underneath. I mean, if we get Randall back early, then yeah, I think that that's going to help them a
Mm-hmm.
lot more. But with Mitchell Robinson down low, I don't know how much points you're going to get down low in the paint. I mean, you're going to have to rely on guys like obviously Brunson and RJ Barrett to be scoring, and guys like Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin is a guy that's probably going to be starting instead of Randall if Randall doesn't come back. And he did just have like a career game at the end of the season, but is that enough? Like, is that enough firepower for? Because on the other side, you got guys like Garland that could score 20, and Mitchell that could score 30 if he wanted to, and like I said, not to mention like Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, who they can go off and get their 15 and 10 if they really wanted to. So
And
I just
Levert.
think, of course, Levert has always played good. He's always like a good 3 and D guy, and his defense is very slept on. That's one guy that you're definitely gonna have to see against Brunson. I think Chris
And that's
Levert, because
all
I
you're exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking about. That they're gonna probably try to put on Brunson just because he's long and
that's a good matchup.
might as well, you
That's a
know.
great matchup actually to watch that the offense versus the defense there. That is a really good matchup. But for me, honestly, I think that this series it really is going to rely more on the backcourt. Watching when Randall comes back, he does like to shoot threes, but he also loves to back people down. And I want to see him backing down Evan Mobley. I want to see that matchup. That's going to be the dream matchup for me because I think this is pretty much going to be either Randall series or it's going to be Donovan Mitchell series. And the Knicks are gonna be so mad if Donovan Mitchell comes out and beats them. And Knicks fans are gonna be mad too, just because they didn't want to pay him an extra like $5 million. Knicks fans are gonna be pissed. They had a chance to get Donovan Mitchell. They had to settle. I mean, not really settle for Jalen Brunson because we didn't know he was gonna turn into what he is now. He's pretty much an all-star playing with the Knicks. But I
Right.
mean, at last year's point, like you would have really wanted Mitchell instead of Jalen Brunson, and I still would want that. I still want Mitchell. He's more of a highlight reel. He's got more box office potential and definitely a better shooter than Brunson. But I just think that this is literally like this is Mitchell to show off that he can beat the Knicks. I think that this is a series for him. And honestly, I got Cleveland winning this series. And guess what? I got another 7 game series because I do think this is going to be a close and a pick 'em series. I think both of these teams are going to be able to win 2 in a row at home. So it's going to be 2-2 going into the fifth and sixth games. And then they're going to swap road games and going into game 7 playing in Cleveland. I think Cleveland's going to take over. Mitchell and Mobley are going to take over, and that's how they're going to win it. And I got this a 7 game series. Cleveland wins it. What about you, though? Who you got winning this one?
Truthfully, I definitely do think it's gonna be a great matchup. I do got it as a 7 game series as well. I do think it's gonna be good to see Randall and Brunson going against Garland and Mitchell. But at the end of the day, that Cleveland defense is just gonna be so suffocating. Uh, They got a lot of wing defenders that they can throw on Brunson. And truthfully, a lot of teams pretty much know that when it comes to Randall, all you gotta do is cut him off from his spots. And you really can force him to have a bad game.
That left
So
the left corner, or not corner, but the left side three, where he always like shoots from the elbow three.
so the elbow three, and honestly, top right or left, actually no, it's top right of the free throw line at the top of the key, and pretty much down low, coming off his left. So you definitely want to cut off his top spots and just force him to go anywhere else. And I definitely do think that they're gonna cause trouble for both him and Brunson. So and like I said, you can't stop both Mitchell and Garland from having off nights. And if you do somehow do that, then unfortunately that means you just let Mobley have a great night. So pretty much, I do think that they're going to overpower it, but it is going to be a tough fought series. Home advantage is going to be very crucial this series. So I do got it as a Cavs 4-3 win.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I agree with you. The home field is going to be crucial, and I think that's going to show in those first four games. I think both of these teams are going to be playing great at home, and honestly, I really want to see two guys for the Knicks step it up, and that's how they can win this series. And we really haven't seen much of him, but I want to see Derrick Rose in this series, man. Come on, Derrick Rose needs to show up here, at least a few minutes a game. Come on, give us something, give us some defense, give us a three or two. Like let's get that crowd hyped up. And also, I want to see Josh Hart make threes for the Knicks.
Josh
Josh Hart
Hart's
needs to
the
make
one that
threes.
got to step up. Cam Reddish as well. Derrick Rose is not getting any playing time.
I know he's not. I
Uh,
know, like, but I
at
want to see
all.
him though. I know he gets like barely gets minutes like here and there. He'll get like 10 minutes in every like 5 games, but yeah, he's usually a DNP, but I'm just saying I want to see him. Of course, like we do need to see Emmanuel quickly and obviously RJ Barrett play well in this series. If we really think the Knicks are gonna go 7 games because they need shooting. I mean, without Randall, they're losing a lot of you know firepower plus scoring down low, which is 25 points a game pretty much. So Obi Toppin and quickly and RJ are gonna have to step it up.
Nah, at the end of the day, they like I said, they might throw Levert on Brunson, but if RJ starts going off, or if they feel like he poses a threat, they're gonna leave him on him, and then at that point, Mitchell or Garland aren't the greatest defenders. So it's definitely gonna be a thing of matchups and a game of matchups, and it's definitely gonna be dependent on the role players, aka RJ Barrett, um, Chris Karis LeVert, Josh Hart, those people stepping up, even Cam Reddish, to kind of allow pretty much the next star to breathe.
Yeah. But I will say this though, I will not be surprised at all if the Knicks win it in 7 either. Like I said, this is a pick'em series,
Oh
and I
yeah.
think whatever team, I mean, whatever we see in Game 7, that's who's gonna win it, and it's gonna be close. Like a few games are gonna be decided by 3 points. I could see this series being very close. Both of these teams play close when they play each other, and I'm gonna love watching this series for sure.